Well, hello. Well, so today I thought I would discuss about it's this article that I was reading, and it's about common inaccurate thinking patterns. So that's how you would sign it. So the first one is all or nothing. Or if you wanted to do it this way, all nothing. Because this is when you switch it, it's the or. But I would still put all or you could do your head all or nothing. So you need to have that included, or otherwise it'll look like and you don't want it to look like and. So it's all or, nothing, or all, nothing, or. So that means it is, which is kind of really kind of self-explanatory, right? If something comes up and you think of it, oh, it's, or a person, you can say, well, they're always that way, or it's always the wrong thing to say or do. It's always, so I can't do anything right. I mean, it's an all or nothing, right? That is a thinking pattern, and many of us have that. Say, like, you can say, oh, that person's, they're awful, they're bad, they're negative or evil or whatever you want to say. It's all or nothing, right? Or that person, oh, they're just wonderful, they're a good person and they always do the right thing, and that kind of thing. So, which is, that way of thinking is always wrong, right? Because people and things, they vary. Okay, so the next one, mislabeling. So this is your label or your brand, and of course this is wrong. So miss in this, like misleading, or it's mislabeling, it's wrong labeling. So wrong labeling. And that's saying that, like, for example, they're saying like, something that happened, or they're making a broad statement. For example, um, that person, their relationship, they broke up, and they say, so I am not good enough. So it's a label that you put on somebody or something. So it's very broad, generalized. And this one is going to be a fun one, so we can kind of look at it and interpret it. Jump to conclusions. So jumping to conclusion means I just automatically decide. So you could say decisions. So you both have your F hand shape. Can't get it out. Think, decide. So decision, which is a conclusion, right? And you're jumping to it. So you don't really jump to it, right? If you want to have fun with it, you can, but you say decision, automatic, quick, right? Jump to conclusions, right? You decided automatically. You decided that quick. So that's what that means. So that you're saying, when you jump to conclusions, then you are saying that, oh, I already know what they're thinking, or what, when they said that they meant that, or if they did that they meant this. So you're just decided, you automatically decision, automatically make, or those are the ways that you would sign that. um or you could say, like, oh, I bet everyone is just laughing, making fun of me, or whatever, because you see someone laughing, across the room, and so you're thinking, oh, they're laughing at me. That's what that jumping to conclusions. I decided, automatic, quickly, automatic. This is automatic, where it's an X hand shape. It goes up and down. The automatic, like an automatic gun in a sense. But you decision quick, decision automatic. Either one will those work, because that's what that means. And the next one is personalizing. So before I give you the sign, let's look at it. You're blaming yourself or someone else for a situation that in reality involved many factors. Hmm. So you're making it about you. So you're personalizing. So if you have that, you're saying, oh, it's about me. I wouldn't use personalize in this because this is like a personality. You could say, oh, you're making it about yourself, making it about myself. For example, you you blame yourself or you blame someone else for a situation. But in reality, it involves many factors. These are your factors, many factors, and you list them. Um, oh, they didn't call me, so they must be mad at me, right? So you're making it about yourself, or you're making this. Um, it's almost like this broad assumption, like jumping to conclusions in a sense. You're personalizing. You're making it about yourself in this situation. Personalizing. Oh, they're mad at me. How do you know that? Because they didn't call me back. Well, maybe they were busy, or maybe their phone died, or maybe they left it at home, or something to that effect, or maybe they were having a bad day, or something like that. So there's many factors involved. It's not about yourself. And the next one is emotional reasoning. And this is to reason, but you're reasoning because you're really thinking about it. So that means like you're judging a situation based on how you feel. So that situation, you judge it because of how you're feeling at that time. So that means, oh, I feel guilty. I must have done something bad. So that's not necessarily what's happening in the moment or that situation. So that is emotional reasoning, right? You judge a situation based on how you're feeling at the time, or right now, or in the moment. Either one of those you can use. And again, it says, oh, I feel guilty, so I must have done something bad. What did I do? And there's nothing wrong with self-assessment, but if you do it all the time, then that is a wrong thinking pattern. And that's what this is about, is if you do it every time in each situation. And this one, again, is like jumping to conclusions, can't get it out. Over generalization. So I would say, so this is like generalization. You're like over generalization, or, generalization, right? Way too much. Like I said before, I make the sound effects to myself before I even do it because that helps me practice. And that way, when I'm in, front of a deaf person, I don't make those sounds because normally I'm with other people. But if you do it to yourself, then it has more meaning and you understand it a little bit better. So you could generalization, right? Way over the top, right? Generalization. And it's good to have the facial expressions, but just kind of you can say them out loud and then just you practice it, and then when you're out there in public, then you go. So your facial expression's the same, and your mindset's already like, right? Okay. And that, for an example, it says it's a applying an experience and generalizing it to all experiences. That's what that means. For example, I did bad on an assignment, so why should I stay in this class? So that was one assignment. I did bad. Maybe I should just drop out. That is overgeneralization because you're saying based on one thing, you should do something else. Like, oh, I had a car accident. Maybe I shouldn't drive anymore. That's an overgeneralization. No, you just take defensive driving classes or practice more. Okay, and then here's one, negative mental filter. So it says focusing on a negative detail and dwelling on it. Okay, so I would say thinking negative. I would just do that just because thinking negative filter, which means that they're thinking everything in a negative way. So I would say thinking negative, think negative. And I would do it several because it's each time, right? You could do think negative, but the reason I did it again and again is because each time I think negative, that's a negative mental filter. For example, you're focusing on something negative, like one little thing, and now you're just dwelling on it. Oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. We dwell on it. And I think that we do that a lot because we're kind of looking at the past and thinking, if I had not said that, whatever, without thinking that in the, ever since then, I've not been doing that. So here's an example. It feels like nothing, trying to do two languages at the same time. So it feels like nothing went well today. It was just failure after failure. Okay. Feels like nothing happened good today. It was just negative, 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 failure, failure, failure all day today. You could say it like that. Feels like nothing went well today. Everything I did, not good today. See, so look at it in a conceptual way, not necessarily English word sentence order. Discounting the positive. Oh, that was positive. Think positive, which is optimistic, but positive, 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 right? Positive, positive. Oh, that's when you reject all positive experiences because you don't feel like they count. Oh, but you did. Ba, 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 ba. Good, 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 good. That it was nothing. It's not important. It wasn't a big thing. It was little things. That's because I said hello to that person in line, or I thanked that person for opening the door. Oh, it was nothing, right? So sometimes we do positive, but we discount it. We just, right? You just kind of blow it away, blow it off. So here's an example. It doesn't matter if my daughter ate breakfast. She threw so many tantrums throughout the rest of the day. So, maybe that's what you wanted your daughter was to eat breakfast. So my daughter, yeah, she ate breakfast, yeah. But then later all day, she just cry, 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 scream all day. But she did something right. Yeah, but whatever, right? So sometimes we do that. And if we do it all the time, that's when it's a wrong thinking pattern. We have two more. Magnification. So magnification is exaggerating your weakness or comparing them to other strengths. So magnification is if you had a magnifying glass and you're looking at it, right? But are we going to sign it that way? Magnification. We're going to use the sign for exaggerating, right? Your weaknesses, exaggerating it. It goes on and on and on. You exaggerate. Weaknesses, oh, you exaggerate. And all your strengths, you compare. So your weaknesses are exaggerated, so you think that they're worse. And you compare it with your strengths or the good things. So it's an exaggeration, magnification, exaggeration. For example, I barely cook dinner for my family, and when I do, it's nothing like her dinners. Okay. Most of the time, I don't cook for my family. Whenever I cook, it's not like her. It's not as good as hers. There's no comparison, right? That's how you would do it, you know. But you're a good cook. Yeah, but it's not like hers. Hers are always healthy. and she cooks every day, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? So when you compare yourself, so you magnification, you exaggerate your weaknesses, and that's a wrong thinking pattern. Okay, last one. Should statements. Should statements. Yeah, that's when I shouldn't have messed up like that. I always think of this shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, shoulda, could have, should have, those kind of things. I shouldn't have like that. I should have done this, this, this. I should have done that. I should have said that. Should. I should. Darn it. Should have. So that's what those are. So those are thinking patterns that we need to kind of change. Probably, I'm sure that everyone has these wrong thinking patterns, if not every time, every day, or every once in a while, and we should change them. And so if you notice it, go, oh, within yourself and see how you can change it. All right, I will see you later. Practice. Bye.